But TikTok in the news, and I think the headline was fascinating and shocked me. I think it will shock all of you. And that is TikTok owner ByteDance aggressive mobile gaming push is paying off as player spending grows. And what this says, the first key point in this article from CNBC says the TikTok owner generated $1 billion of player spending across its mobile games between June 21st, 2021 and June 20th, 2022, a 16% increase from the same period last year. Obviously, ByteDance best known for TikTok, but they acquired major gaming studios Moonton and C4 and got a bunch of games as part of those deals. So they are producing mobile games and distributing mobile games as well. Now, is anyone shocked that ByteDance, TikTok owner ByteDance, did $1 billion of player spend across their mobile games? Like, have we ever we've talked about them toying with gaming, but like, I feel like we went from toying with gaming and experimenting to like $1 billion, right?
Like as if it's some the same conversation number. We have anytime we talk about anything related to China, it's numbers, because we're always like, wait, what? Like, how is it that big? It's always much bigger than we think when it comes to combining China, gaming, and numbers, I guess. So I am surprised. I think I'm curious what the big titles were in there. I think one of them is like is it something Bang Bang, Shooter Bang Bang? It's some
I do
game.
believe it mentioned,
Mobile Legends Bang Bang. Yeah, that's the
yes,
one.
Mobile Legends Bang Bang. That's right.
I've never played it. I'm not familiar with it. I know that was the big acquisition that they did. It looks like it says they generated $300 million from that, so that's 32% of the business. So it must be a popular mobile shooter. It's not one that I'm, familiar with. It's not one that we over here in the West put a lot of mind share into. But yeah, I mean, TikTok is a great advertising channel. I know a lot of mobile game companies use TikTok clearly to try to generate installs. So it makes sense that they have some advantage because they possess all that inventory, all those eyeballs. So it's probably pretty easy for them to cross promote their games into that. Yeah, I'm not sure the big takeaway besides I am surprised.
There was this interesting piece in the article. I have it highlighted here. It says, for comparison, if you look at the same time period, Tencent did $7.9 billion in spend on their mobile games, and NetEase $3.1 billion. So like that puts things in a little bit of perspective. Like Tencent from a mobile game spend perspective is still 8 times larger than TikTok / ByteDance. Does that feel about right to you guys?
Just from a quick search of their revenues, ByteDance is at $58 billion annually in revenue, and Tencent is at about $70 billion annually in revenue. So I don't think any of these numbers are that surprising in that context.
But that is kind of surprising though, Lindsay, right? Like $1 billion out of 58 sort of like, that's
nothing.
Kind of small potatoes, right? Like it's still pretty small potatoes relative to the rest of their business.
Mm-hmm.
Adds a lot of context to me, Lindsay. Thanks for helping with those figures, because what my question at first was okay, 16% growth, amazing, but also given the time period, something that we've seen with a lot of companies doing quite well in the last 2 years in particular. And I was thinking, well, are they going to be able to sustain that? And the $1 billion for ByteDance out of the 58 comparative to Tencent, which has had the infrastructure, which has been in mobile gaming and in gaming in general a lot longer, ByteDance has even more room, I think, to grow. And so I was going to say I would expect that to shrink by this time next year, but now I'm not so sure if that's the case. I think they could. There's still a lot of dollars to capture and to steal away from some of their competitors. So that was really interesting additional context, Lindsay. Thank you.
Yeah, it is interesting, right, to see comparatively. Jeff, I have a question for Jeff, because Jeff's in the mobile game space, right, with Homa. I'm curious if you think this is ByteDance / TikTok taking market share away from NetEase and Tencent. Like, is it the pie staying the same size, or do you feel like the pie there is growing fast enough to support a third entrant that, has a huge potential base of customers?
Yeah, it's interesting. I guess I'd want to go back and slice and dice the data without just making some wild assumption, but because that's what we do on the show, I will make the wild assumption. I will humor you with the wild assumption. I think that it's the market growing. And it is interesting that, I feel like the last 10 stories we've done about China and gaming have been pretty negative, just around, the issue of minors not being able to play. We did some stories about the government not giving licenses. Like, feels like every time we've done a story, really the last year almost, about China and gaming, it's been kind of negative. This is the first one where it's like we're seeing positive growth and it's a positive story. So I'm a little surprised in the context of my guess that the market is growing and that they're not taking share, given that kind of macro backdrop. But I will say that is my guess, is that they're not, because we didn't see in the numbers Tencent losing market share. So shrinking. So if anything, they may be taking share from some of the smaller players, which is often, I think, what you see in consolidating industries. It's like not necessarily the big players that are losing. It's like the people down the rung that lose when a third competitor comes.
I just want to get caught up on these comments. Matt says, best part of the week, Matt. I mean, I'm biased. I agree. Is this just further proof that mobile gaming is the future? It seems like companies getting involved in the gaming space are leaning more towards mobile. I mean, this will forever, I don't think we will ever stop talking about this on this show. I mean, I don't think this question ever gets resolved. I think we can all agree, right? There's no resolution to this. I don't think it's ever going to be black and white. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but there's no one that's going to win everything and everything else is going to go away. Happy Mod says, hi, hello. Happy Mod, welcome. Adam says, if mobile gaming is the future looks laggy. I mean, I guess it depends where you are and on what mobile networks you're on, but yes, could potentially look very laggy. Happy Mod says, you got this. Thank you, Happy Mod. I do got this.